Oh my gosh. Hi guys. I think we're live. Woo, so many of you are here. 16 people. Hello, my loves. First things first, I'm really sorry for my messy appearance today. I realized like all of my live streams, I have been trying to like dress up and look really polished for you guys, which definitely it's because you're awesome and I want to look good for you guys. But today I thought it'd be interesting to show you guys how an artist, or at least this artist, actually looks during the day while she's working. Like just sweats and messy hair and no makeup. I mean, I put on a little bit of concealer today because I didn't want you guys to see my raccoon eye bags. But yeah, so I thought since I moved to a new city, I'm starting fresh. I just really want to like make more effort to be natural and not as, I don't know, like not as much of a perfectionist and just kind of focus on, you know, happiness and well-being. Some of you might have seen like my Instagram post from yesterday where I basically rambled on and kind of vented a lot of my frustration lately. Those of you who replied and gave me support, I'm so thankful. I woke up and read all the comments and just felt like so loved. I had so much hope and encouragement. And yeah, I think moving forward, I just really want to cut myself some slack, not overwork so much, not always try to push myself to the limit, and, you know, just kind of allow myself to be normal and to have, you know, slow days, or to not always, you know, be the best version of myself because it gets really tiring. So yeah, this is me. This is just me in my studio. Oh my god, you guys are so cute. You guys are like, oh, you still look cute. Well, thank you. Let's see, we have Gina, Lena, Maya, Linny, Janina, Brooke, Luna, and Optic Moat, and Art by MB. Hi guys! Oh, so glad you guys could join me. So yeah. And Luz, welcome Luz. So yeah, how's everyone's month been? I haven't seen you guys in a month. So I'm in a, as you can tell, a completely new studio now, and it's been a crazy month for me. I hope you guys had a good month and enjoyed the summer, but man, this past like June, actually it was starting in like March where it started to get really stressful. So even now I'm like struggling to find like a peace of mind because I'm just so used to all this stress and chaos. Like moving is so tough. Packing and moving, like when you have 2 people's worth of stuff and 4 animals and a fish tank, and also trying to sell a house is really hard. I've never sold a house before, or I mean, we're not selling a house, we're selling like a condo. And then buying a place is also really tough. And then mixing all that with like trying to finish up my solo show, do the meetups, and I'm bridesmaid for 2 weddings this summer and fall. So not that I mind, I love being a bridesmaid. I love supporting my friends on their special day, but you know, it's a lot of work to be in a wedding party, and just trying to balance everything has been absolutely crazy. So I'm really glad it's all coming to an end very soon. Like I'm really hoping that we find a house and move in and settle down, and just I can regain like normalcy again. Let's see. Christina says, hi, Happy. I just made it home in time. Yay! So glad you could join us. Art by MB says, this is just a temporary place for you, right? Yes. I'm gonna only be here until I can find, or until we can find a house and move in. And we're not thinking of doing this too long. We're hoping to get a place soon, like this summer. Lenny says, did you find a place yet? There are a few that we like that we're definitely wanting to put offers in on, but we have not finalized on a place, no. Luz says, it's been like crazy, but I am playing Just Dance now to make exercise in any way. Artist life can be really sedentary. Oh yeah, tell me about it. I haven't gotten to the gym in like 3 months, and yeah, pretty intimidated and scared to go back again. I remember like in the winter time, I was going pretty much 3 times a week. I got myself onto a really good schedule. And then once things got busy, I mean, gym was like the last thing on my priority list, which I know is not healthy. Like I should really prioritize and make time for things that benefit my health. But yeah, I need to find a new gym now in Seattle. Or maybe if I get a house and I have enough room, I can have a gym room. Oh, Maya says, I defended my thesis project a week ago. Whoa, congrats. What kind of thesis is it for, like grad school? And if so, like what are you studying and what is the thesis about? Okay, so while I'm gonna wait maybe a few more minutes, while I wait, I'm gonna show you guys the new studio. There's not too much to see, it's just one room, but why not? A quick little impromptu studio tour. I'm gonna try to do this. I'm gonna try to carry actually, I don't really even have to carry anything around because I can just go into the center of the room and show you guys like the 360 view. Okay. Oh, let me see. Where can I best put this? Right. Okay. Yay. Can you guys still see me? All right. So oh my gosh, I'm going to try to, okay. So this is the door in which I enter where my towels are hanging. And here is a view of my desk. So that's where I'm live streaming. Live stream inception. So yeah, I have my desktop, my windows. Look at this view, you guys. Like, look at all these beautiful trees. This is what I did not have in California, was like nature outside my window. Like I love looking out and seeing all this green. So yeah, my desk, and then here is my printer for labels and stuff, a little cart filled with various items. And on this side of my desk, we have my bed. Hi, Juan Juan. Juan Juan's sleeping. Hi. Say hi to everybody, sleepy boy. He's like, why did you wake me up? And so next to my bed is like a mini fridge, a microwave. I have a dresser from IKEA that I put together. And then a mirror, a shelf, and back there, so that one is my fine art printer, and then this shelf here is just holding various things like food, cleaning supplies, bathroom supplies, things like that. Yep, and that's, oh yeah, and then here's a little console table that just holds more printing stuff, and I use it as like a workstation when I need to package and things like that. So yeah, this room actually used to be a family room, which is why it's huge and has like a fireplace, which I'm not using, of course. And it's really quite nice, very spacious. I don't know if I can show you guys here. Like, here's a aerial view. There's a lot of space in the middle for me. So, yay. Okay, I'm gonna bring you guys back to my desk now. Sorry for the shaky and very impromptu tour. Yeah. Ooh, okay. Let's see. What did you guys say? Oh, Maya says, I'm studying robotics. Had to develop a control program for a little robot and give him some utilities. That is so cool. Wow, robotics is like stuff for the future. Do you guys watch Westworld? I'm obsessed with Westworld. I'm so sad the season's over, but yeah, like robotics just reminds me of Westworld. Let's see. People, you guys are so cute. You guys are saying, oh yeah, I haven't been to the gym in years either. Let's see. Janina says, nice place. The view is very nice. I love having trees around. Thank you. Me too. Luna says, it's a cute place. Well, thanks, guys. Yeah, I'm not gonna like decorate it or, you know, install too many things just because I know I'm moving soon. But even if it's temporary, I wanted somewhere comfortable for me to work. And, you know, even if I have to like take everything down and redo it, to me it's worth it, because yeah, you can't do your best work unless you have a like soothing, relaxing, clean environment. But yeah, and then in case you guys are curious, so my 2 dogs and Boogerface, so my second cat and my 2 dogs, they're actually staying with their grandparents right now. So my fiance's parents, because this place I live in actually doesn't allow animals. So I'm kind of sneaking Juan in temporarily. So yeah, don't tell anyone, guys. I mean, I don't think the house owner will know, but because he's older, he needs to have his IV injections every other day because he has kidney issues. So only I know how to do that, and he needs like kind of constant care and attention because he does have health problems. So for safety reasons, and also because I love him and I'm attached to him, he's staying with me. But yeah, we're hoping to get a whole family back together very, very soon when we get a house. And I have been visiting the other furry babies on the weekends, and every time I see them, it's so sad to leave them. It's so weird to have like 4 pets and then, not have them around. Like the place just feels so quiet. Oh yeah, Lou says, how was your solo show? I totally forgot to talk about that, guys. Oops. Yeah, my solo show was incredible. Like I always get really anxious before meetups because, the stress of like seeing so many people. I'm not sure if I'm gonna, be energetic enough, or I'm not sure if I will know the right thing to say. But like once it happened, like it just felt like it almost kind of went by in a flash. Like I almost don't remember the details of what happened. It was just such a loving and joyful experience. Like I met so many amazing young artists and people who have like followed me for years since I first began, which is crazy to think about. So it just almost feels like meeting an old friend. And yeah, I met like even older people, like older like dudes, females, students, moms, teachers, yeah, just all walks of life, all ages and genders. It was really, really awesome. And like some people even drove really far. Like this one girl, she drove 10 hours to go there, and I was so moved. Like she was so incredibly sweet, and I just couldn't believe like she made that journey out just to see my show. Yeah, someone else also like flew in from another state. Like it was just crazy. I really didn't expect that warm of a response. So I'm incredibly humbled, and yeah, I can't even stop smiling just thinking about it. Like, and I need to like edit the vlog. I filmed it, and I have a few gifts from you guys that I want to like, really show off, and a lot of things I want to say, and it's just it's been so crazy. I've just been trying to play catch up with like, shipping and painting deadlines. So I really need to make time to edit that vlog because yeah, I don't want to wait too long. But yeah, I think I've waited long. Oh, 19 of you now. Okay, I think I waited long enough. It's about 2:15. I'm going to start my color mixing demo now. I know previously I would always awkwardly try to maneuver my webcam so that I can like put it on my tripod and point it at my easel. I feel like those shots are very far away. You guys don't really get to see the details. So today I'm just going to be doing everything on the table, like flat. So I got my cart next to me here. I'm just going to be putting my palette and my painting like right on the table, and I'm going to point the webcam down so you guys can see it. And that way, you don't have to squint your eyes. So yeah. All right, let me just move my laptop over to this side and we can get started. Sorry. All of these live streams will involve a little bit of awkward like hand over camera moments. Okay. Okay, so how do I even move this down? Okay, there we go. Does this work? Okay, maybe I should actually, I'll lower it even more. There we go. Wow, it's really hard to avoid that nasty like leg of the tripod. Okay, this is better. Yay. This is better? Okay, awesome. Very minimal interference. Okay, and today's piece that I'm going to be working on is this girl right here. She's dry, so I can just set her right on the canvas. I'm not going to be painting upside down because, as you know, with the webcam, everything's switched. But yeah, this is a piece for Corey Helford Gallery. It's due in about 2 weeks or maybe 1 week. I'm definitely going to finish it. Like, now that I have everything else done, I'm going to just focus on painting for the next week. But she's going to have like a huge moon behind her. She's in like some mystical water. I'm not sure what to do with these. I was originally just going to make it foggy clouds, but I think I might add some more detail, like maybe have some sort of foliage, you know, kind of blended in with the fog so that little bits of it peeks out very mysteriously. It'll just add some interesting texture. And yeah, she's got a lot of moths on her hair. I also wonder if I should add more detail to her hair. And I'm gonna save, like, the tattoo is gonna have, or sorry, the arm is gonna have a tattoo sleeve. So I'm gonna design like a really cool tattoo to put here. But yeah, today I'm going to be mixing skin tones, and I thought it'd be really interesting to demo for you guys how I mix these cool skin tones, because so many people ask me, and I think there's a lot of confusion or maybe like a stigma against skin tones. Like, they're always known to be very difficult, and people always feel like they have to mix the perfect shades of like peach and beige and tan. And I just wanted to show you guys, like, you can mix skin tones without using any brown, without using any beige. Today, I'm just going to be using greens, pinks, reds, blues to mix the skin tones for you guys. So yay, hopefully this will be useful. I'm going to also talk more in depth about the materials that I've been using so you can get, I guess, better tips on what to shop for. So this is my palette paper here. Let me move the painting out of the way so we can focus. So my palette paper, the brand is, here, let me see. Actually, wait, this is upside down. The brand is Royal and Langnickel. So the same brand. I love their brushes, and I tried a few more of their art supplies. I've never tried palette paper before, and I absolutely love it. This is the gray version, and I think it measures 9 by 12. And basically, it's like a shiny, so it's a pad. Once you're done using one sheet, you can just toss it. So no more like scraping or cleaning. But it's basically like a shiny wax paper or parchment paper, and it's toned gray. I love mixing colors on the gray. It's just, I don't know, it forces you to kind of make the colors really rich and opaque, and it just gives you a nice kind of medium tone starting point for all your colors. And it's not too expensive. I think, I actually don't remember the price, but yeah, one of these pads should be no more than like a few dollars, maybe $10. I'll double check the price for you guys and let you know. But yeah, so today I'm going to be mixing on this pad. There we go. Okay, hopefully this. Okay, there we go. Come on, webcam, you can do this. Okay, I think, is this angle good enough? Okay, there we go. Materials. Okay, so the materials I use for mixing, you need obviously oil paint. I have a few from Gamblin. Gamblin is like one of my, well, it's my favorite ultimate brand. Cool White is a new color I haven't used yet, but you can also use titanium white. My titanium white is, let's see, where'd it go? It's, oh wait, this is my titanium white is really old. It's from the brand Grumbascher. I actually got it at a garage sale when I was in high school. So this shows you how long oil paint lasts. And yeah, you can tell because this is like their old packaging and old font, but I'm just trying to finish it because there's only a little bit left and I don't want to waste. So I have like new titanium white that I haven't broken into yet, but I really want to use this old one. And it's quite easy to use. And yeah, like I said, it's oil paint lasts forever, especially if you seal it. So I'll be using titanium white. Maybe I'll try Cool White later. Terre Verte. Terre Verte. I'm really bad at pronouncing things in French. This is a really earthy green. almost like a brownish green. It kind of shows up brown on the screen, but in person it's like a very muted, like grayish green. Radiant magenta, another bottle or another tube that's almost used up, that's lasted me for like what, over 5 or 6 years. It's a pastel pink. Of course, we have cadmium red medium, which is the ultimate red. Like, it's just the quintessential red. This bottle or this tube actually cost me like almost $30. It was like $25, and then after tax it was like $27. It's very expensive, but again, it's because it's such high quality materials and the pigment is so rich, you don't need that much. So I only use a little bit each time, and that's why it's lasted me for like, 5 years. All right. Next up, we have, oh wait, sorry. This one. Sap Green. It's one of my favorites. It's kind of like the complementary partner of cadmium red medium, because sap green is like the quintessential green. It's just like a nice grassy green. These two together make a really rich, warm brownish skin tones. And then these two together make a really light pastel skin tones. And of course you can mix and match. And then I'm also going to be using this color, which is Turquoise Light. It's from the Blick Artist brand. You could probably find a similar color with a different name in other brands. Again, something that's lasted me 5 years. I haven't even got, like, this one still has quite a bit left because it's, again, so rich that you can use it in moderation. And Prussian Blue, my favorite shade of dark blue. I think it's a bit less saturated compared to ultramarine blue. Ultramarine blue is almost like a blue you'll see like on a digital painting or on your screen. Prussian blue feels more earthy and natural. It's kind of like the color of the dark evening sky. And I love using this for any part of my piece that needs blue. So anytime you see a dark blue in any of my pieces, it's always been Prussian blue. Like, I've been a fan since the beginning. And lastly, I'm going to be using a little bit of black. I have two types of blacks, Mars Black and Chromatic Black, both from Gamblin. And honestly, for me, like, the end result, I can't tell the difference that much, but I can read you guys the back. So on Mars Black, it says, pigment, synthetic black iron oxide, vehicle, alkali refined linseed oil, light fastness 1, opaque. And then chromatic black, we have pigment, chlorinated and bromated phthalocyanine quinacridone red, vehicle, alkali refined linseed oil, it's the same vehicle, light fastness 1, and transparent. Transparent means that it's a little bit easier to mix this black with other colors and not have it like usually opaque colors are harder to mix and tweak. And transparent colors, they have a less opaque coverage, obviously, but they're also easier to mix. Also, this one's interesting. It seems to be made from like a little bit of red and a greenish color, I believe. I think when I visited Gamblin, they told me like chromatic black was made from mixing two colors together, whereas Mars Black is just straight up like a black pigment. So yeah, if you're just using black on its own, or like, a lot of black with a small amount of different colors, I don't think there's a huge difference. But if you're using black to mix and tint your colors a lot, I would say chromatic black probably is the right choice. And also chromatic black is a bit more expensive. It's a series 2. You can tell here. I don't know if you can see, but series 2 versus series 1. So usually with paints, the higher the series number, the more expensive it is. See, this one is a series 5, the cadmium red medium, which is why it cost me almost $30 for this one tube. And then, Mars Black is like a series 1. So it'll cost, depending on where you are, a fraction of the price. So yeah, these are colors I'm going to be using. No browns, no beige, no peach, no flesh tones. I'm just going to be making all of my skin tones with these non-skin tone colors. And I'm going to be using my new favorite palette knife. This is from Royal and Langnickel. It is a P-5 in this like long diamond shape, and it's got like this nice, I don't even know how to call this, but like a nice handle, curved handle part. It's convenient to mix and deposit paint. There's a smaller brush that I love as well, P-15 from the same brand. It's just like a mini version of the big one. But for today's purpose, we'll use the big one. I also have my gloves, as you guys know. Very important to wear gloves if you have sensitive cuticles like mine, sensitive nail beds. Yeah. Art by MB says it's so expensive because of the cadmium. All cadmiums are expensive. Yeah, I agree. I'm not going to use this color, but I think you guys have seen me mention it before. But this one from Williamsburg brand, I bought as like a present to myself, I think on my birthday, cadmium yellow medium. It retailed for $33. And I have used maybe like 10% of this in the last 4 years. Like, it's such a rich yellow, and this thing never dries. It's always the last color to dry on my palette because there's so much pigment and it's just such good quality. So yeah, definitely, I don't think buying expensive high quality art materials, I don't think it's ever a waste of money. It's just a matter of like how much cash do you have right now? Okay. Got my glove on. Another glove, 2 gloves, why not? Yeah, I've heard some people say they hate gloves, or it doesn't feel like you're getting the entire experience. But I think over time you get used to them, because now when I paint without gloves, I feel like my hands are too naked. But yeah, I hated them at first too. Like, I felt like my hands got really sweaty. I felt constricted, but now I am a glove lover. I'm a glover. Okay, so first things first, I always start with white, and I always use a lot of white because with these colors, you'll see the end result sometimes is way too saturated, and if you want cool skin tones, it's better to stay a little bit desaturated. So I always deposit a huge amount. Let's put the white over here. Actually, okay, maybe over here. I always deposit a huge amount of white to start. And next to the white, I will mix in a little bit of the chromatic black. Let's see, squeeze a little bit out. Usually when you mix grays, the white to black ratio is like a lot of white with a little bit of black. So never mix your colors without trying it out first. Like, don't just like put the 2 globs together right away, because you might end up wasting a lot of the white colors. So just a tiny bit of black. And let me see. Okay. The next, I also am the kind of person, I'm a little bit more spontaneous or disorganized. I don't really have like a set like pattern of how I deposit the colors. I'm not like Roy G. Biv or anything like that. I just kind of do whatever I feel like doing. So I'm just gonna do like pink here first, the radiant magenta. It's like a pastel pink. And next to that, I'm going to put the really muted earthy green called Terre Verte. I need to get a new bottle because this one's kind of drying out, but this is one of my favorite colors. I love this green for skin tones. There we go. Okay, and then we have, let's see, why not? Red. We're gonna put the cadmium red medium right next to the green. I guess we have like a muted pastel set, and then we have a vibrant earthy set. There we go. And then I'll put the vibrant sap green next to the red. And here I will put our blues. We'll have the turquoise light, which is like a brilliant teal. And also Prussian blue, which is great for shadows. So the blues I usually use for the shadows. And I also like to use a little bit of this turquoise light plus white, like mostly white with a drop of turquoise light, to make the highlights have like a blue tinge to them. Okay, these are all of our colors. I'm going to be starting now. Also, yeah, if you guys have any questions or get bored or just want to chat, like, you don't have to have questions about color mixing. You can ask me any questions about anything, since, you know, it is going to be, we still have 30 minutes left, and I want to make sure we get a chance to like chat. But until then, I will start mixing. So what I usually do is I take a lot of white. Oh, also make sure you have like a cloth or a paper towel or something to wipe your palette knife on, because you'll have to wipe it very frequently. And then a little bit of black, like just a little tiny, like a speck, see? And like I always said, it's a lot easier to add more of the high risk color than to try to take it away, because if I had mixed a huge amount of black and white together and the gray was too dark, I'd have to incorporate way more white than if it's the other way around. Like right now, this gray feels kind of light, and it's way easier for me to just slowly add in more black than to waste my white paint. So let's see. I usually like to do like a medium gray that's slightly lighter than the gray of my palette paper. But yeah, you'll see the purpose of the gray later. It's to basically desaturate whatever colors I mix. They say that if you mix a color with its complementary, it'll make like a nice colorful gray, or like a nice, I guess, vibrant shade of gray. But for me, I just like to mix gray with things to desaturate them. I don't know, maybe some schools or some teachers will say this is a no-no, but whatever. Everyone has their own method. As long as it works for you, I say go for it. Okay, next I'm going to mix these two together to show you the kind of pastel light skin tones. I like to use these for like the midtones, but so this is the earthy green, or the very muted earthy green terre verte. And with these two colors, I found in the past that you need way more green than you do pink. So I deposit a lot of green, and I'm just going to incorporate a little bit of pink. Yeah. And then what's interesting is like this color always ends up being very similar to the gray of the palette paper. So this palette paper gray is actually like more of what I would say like a muted brownish beige. It's not actually gray, because if you see, this is like the gray I mixed with white and black. It's very cool compared to the gray of the paper. And then this skin tone I'm mixing with the pink and the green, it's a lot closer to the gray of the paper. Anyways, so yeah, here I have a little bit of this color. I'm gonna try to like bunch up my paint dollop so that it kind of sticks together more. Maybe like this. There we go. Okay, so that to me is a little bit too pink, but I kind of like it. I think I'm gonna keep it that way, because pinks and blues transition very well together. And with cool skin tones, there's always like a little blue undercurrent. And next up, I'm going to show you guys a more vibrant set of colors with the cadmium red medium and sap green. This one, I feel like you need equal amounts of both, maybe slightly less red, but in my experience. Oh, also, this color, it gets really dark. So sometimes when two colors are too dark and you mix them together, you lose sight of what they actually look like. So I suggest incorporating a little bit of white into the mixture so that you can bring out the hues more easily. So see here, once I incorporate white, you can see that instead of being dark red, you can start seeing like, you know, what it will one day become, which is like a more of a tan color. It needs a little bit more white. White also desaturates it. So the more white I add, it becomes lighter and less saturated and more, I guess, palatable, because that dark red color was definitely not something that you could see belonging on human skin. But now you see this kind of more warm tan color. It looks like it could actually belong on a face. Maybe a little bit more green. There you go. The reason why I think my skin tones are all skew towards more of the cool side is because I like adding the warm, vibrant reds and pinks to the blush highlights of the face, like the nose, the cheeks, around the eyes, I like to add like pops of red and pink. And so having the rest of the skin tones be a bit cooler makes those blush areas stand out more. So yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with this color. But yeah, see, like you really don't need a flesh color to mix a flesh color. You can start off completely different. Okay, I'm gonna wipe my brush now. I know I don't have like the most perfect paint dollops, but I'm working on it. I'm working on my palette knife skills. Oh, I have a question. Oh, hi, Macy Lou. Thanks for joining us. Maya says, question about life. At what age did you have your very first pet? Ooh, good question. Well, I had like a hamster when I was a kid. I forget what age, but I remember being really young. And when I moved to the States, I had to leave the hamster behind, and that was really sad. And then I heard that it had died, and it made me really, really sad. It was like a teddy bear hamster. I actually had two of them, a male and a female. The male ran away. At the time, we lived like on an apartment building, and I think it jumped off of the balcony. So, and then the female stayed, but she passed away when I was in the States. And at some point, they had babies, and the female ate all her babies, which I heard is common for rodents, but man, it scarred me. Okay, so now I'm just going to show you guys what I can do with the grays. I'm going to mix this really warm earthy flesh tone with gray. I mean, it does exactly what you suspect it would do, but basically it makes the cool skin tone a lot more consistent. See, I mixed it, like it pretty much is the exact same shade as the palette paper. You can't even see the palette paper underneath because it's such a cool earthy gray. So I can show you guys on the camera here. It's like this color, which see compared to the gray that I mixed earlier, the gray that I mixed is showing up really blue on camera, probably because it's adjusting the colors in relationship to the warm palette paper. But yeah, it's like a nice, cool mid-tone for flesh tones. And then also with the gray, I can incorporate that into my blues over here so that my blue shadows and highlights are not too blue. I'll take a little bit of the gray and go over here and mix it with my little bit of Prussian blue maybe. See, the Prussian blue looks so dark, it doesn't look as saturated, but once you incorporate a little bit of white, you'll see that like, wow, there's a lot of pigment in that. And this blue I'm going to actually be using for shadows, so I'm going to be putting some more black into it. It'll mute the blue and also make it darker and give me this rich, like, night shade for any shadows. But yeah, I found that mixing colors is very soothing and fun. It's like, it's something I used to hate doing because I was just so eager to get straight to painting. But now I kind of look forward to the prep stages where I get to get all my colors ready. It kind of gets me amped for the painting. And it really does save time. Like when you have all your colors pre-mixed and it's time to paint, like you don't have to worry about mixing while you go. I mean, you have to mix a little bit as you go to tint it, but having most of the colors ready to go makes the painting process so much smoother, more seamless. Okay, there we go. Yeah, my palette is very disorganized. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, and then here, I'm just going to quickly mix the highlight color right here. So like a tiny pin drops worth of that turquoise light. I'm going to put some white in there. And this is just for like any part of the skin tone that is regular white or just the lightest part. I'll incorporate a tiny bit of this teal mixture to tie the whole range of skin tones together. So we start off with like a cool dark blue shadow, and we end with a pastel light blue highlight. And then all the midtones in between are, you know, pinks, greens, light grayish browns. It'll work out. Okay, so that's pretty much my demo. To recap, we started with mixing gray, a lot of white with a little bit of black, and then I mixed this muted pinkish tone with radiant magenta, terre verte, with a little bit of gray and a lot more green. This color here is made with cadmium red medium and sap green and white. And this dark grayish blue is made with Prussian blue, the gray mixture from earlier, and black. And then this really light blue highlight is made with turquoise light, a lot of white, and a little bit of this gray mixture as well. Yay! Okay, now I'm going to start painting onto the face. I probably don't have time today to do too much of the face, and since I am recording the time lapse for it, I don't want to make too much progress without recording with my DSLR. But I wanted to show you guys how I at least start my second layers. So I'm really sorry, it's going to be a little bit of upside down / side angle, but I will try to make it work. So let me just put the camera here, and I'm going to put the light here. Okay. Okay, oops. Okay, so I have my palette maybe on this side here. Oh, this is so difficult. Why can't I ever arrange my desk properly? Actually, do you guys mind if it's upside down? I guess, or can we do it like this maybe? Oh, this is good. Okay, this is good. All right, and I'll just have my palette right here above the painting. Yay! Wow, so much closer and nicer than the tripod method, huh? Oh, Roxanne made it. She says, I kept missing the live stream because of class. Well, I'm happy you could join us today. I missed you, Roxanne. Let's see, Brooke says, what paint do you use for mermaid's eyelids in the cuttlefish painting? I'm having a hard time getting super vibrant looking colors. Yes, I will show you. I used a combination of quinacridone opera, which is a really, really bright, like magenta pink from Holbein. I used actually cadmium red medium. These two mixed together is a very opaque, like warm, bright, like reddish pink. And then for the inner corners and little highlights, I incorporated a little bit of yellow to give it like an orange-ish tint. And for the inner corners, I just dabbed a little bit of yellow with a lot of white to give her like a, you know, like a pastel yellow sparkly inner corner highlight. Okay, now let us begin. This is the part where I get nervous. I'm not going to use any mediums today just for simplicity's sake. So I'll go straight to painting. Which brush should I use? Can I use like an, okay, maybe this one. This is like a nice medium-sized brush for the skin tones. So I'm not going to bother with like the reds and stuff because that's not really, I didn't really mix them today. I'm going to work on kind of more of the mid-tones instead. Gotta have my silicoil jar here. I need to get a new one. I need to make a trip to the art store. I need some new pens. I need some new silicoil jars. Probably a new easel too. My easel is reaching the end of its lifespan. Okay, so I just basically wetted my brush in the paint thinner and now I'm drying it. This just helps make the brush kind of easy to work with in the beginning. Okay, so I usually like to start with the darks. Let's get some of this bluish gray color. Let's see, you can also like put your brush against the painting to see if it matches. Like right now I'm getting a feeling that it's a little bit too dark, so I'm just adding a little bit of that lighter gray. And I'm feeling like I want it to be more blue, so I'm adding more of the teal as well. So yeah, this is what I mean. Like even though you have it mixed, you might still need to mix a little bit. Okay, so I'm just gonna work here. And it is very tedious, slow work. So now, since this is the second layer, you're gonna have to deal with like this weird middle ground, or I guess I call it like purgatory, where you're covering up the first layer and you're scared because you're like, wait, this looks different from the first layer. But then if it doesn't look different from the first layer, you're not really making any progress. So you have to just kind of like swallow that fear and continue to paint, even though right now it's like, whoa, what am I doing? I'm making it way too blue. So now I'm going to use some of this brownish beige color to mix in with the blue. Yeah, I also like, so if you want your blue, for example, to stop at a certain point, you want to paint past that point so that you have a little bit of extra bandwidth to blend the new color in. So wherever you want one color to stop, or I guess where you want it to start transitioning into another color, paint past that point. Here we go. Okay, now I'm going to use some more of that rosy pink color because we're approaching the midtones. I'm going for like starting out with a dark blue shadows, going to pinkish midtones, and ending up with like a light blue highlight. So yeah, now we have the pinkish midtones here. Roxanne says, is this the second layer? Yes, it is the second layer. And since I'm not using any mediums, it's going on very opaquely. So it's having some pretty awesome coverage. And for me, the second layer always ends up being darker than the first layer, obviously, because I use a white panel to paint on. So the more I cover the white underneath, the darker it feels. But just be prepared for your whole painting to feel darker if you're starting with a white surface. Unless your first layer is super opaque, which again is everyone has their different different preferences. So yeah, if your color block layer is super opaque, I say go ahead, do it. More power to you. Oh wow, it's 2:50 already. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try to make as much progress as I can before our time is up because I feel like this is important to see. Linny Minnie says, do you use a medium for the first layer? Usually I just stick to paint thinner. I use Gamsol, which is like odorless mineral spirits. But sometimes I also use like a fast drying medium for the first layer if I'm eager for it to dry. Paint thinner actually makes it dry faster as well. So I use mostly paint thinner and occasionally a little bit of liquid or Galkid to help the first layer dry, because first layer, I don't care if it looks bumpy or weird. I just want it to dry so I can get started with, refining it and, getting to the good stuff, so to speak, in the second layers. I'm going to use a slightly smaller brush to do the chin area because there's a bit more shadows going on here. Getting more of that blue to highlight the shadows on the chin. I guess the shoulder would cast a shadow on her face as well. So there we go. And then another thing about shadows is like sometimes like you should treat shadows the same way you treat highlights. Sometimes you want them to stick out, so you don't want to blend them. When you do like a white highlight and it pops up, you don't blend that out because you want it to stick out. Same with some of the shadows, like the really stark shadow under the bottom lip. I used to always make the mistake of over blending that out, and then the lips would look really weird. They would look like they were floating on the face rather than like sitting on the face. So then I basically stopped blending that shadow so much. I'll show you guys what I mean. So I'm going to quickly blend the chin out, this part. And there's not really a huge shadow that sticks out under the lip. So the lips feel like they're kind of not really integrated or sunken into the face. So the way you fix that, here, I'm going to put these two brushes aside and use an even smaller brush. Let's see if I can find that sucker. Oh, there it is. Okay. So this is like my smallest filbert that I own. And I'm going to take like a really dark color, like maybe just even pure black, just to show you guys. Okay, black tinted with a little bit of gray. But yeah, really dark black. And then I'm just gonna like put it here, almost like drawing a line. And I'm gonna give myself like a limit, a boundary as to how much I can blend it. See, even now, like the lip feels like it's casting a way more realistic shadow on the chin. Also, I'm gonna rinse this brush out. I'm actually gonna blend with this tiny brush. So if you blend with a smaller brush, you have a lot more control of how far you want your gradient to extend. So yeah, I'm gonna keep the middle part like unblended and just blend out the corners and do it very, very subtly. Like, see, I'm not even going past like this little boundary here. There we go. I mean, obviously the lips aren't finished, but you see how that looks way better than what I had before, which is like these floaty, soft, like lips that created no shadows. When two objects are really close together, they cast a dark, short shadow, almost like a line. And then when two objects are far apart, they cast like a cloudy, blended, like medium tone shadow. So if you want two objects to look like they're sitting on top of each other, really close together, use darker and shorter slash crisper shadows, if you will. Okay. Oh, question from Maya. She says, "How was your experience at Comic-Con?" I had a wonderful time at Comic-Con. I was a bit overwhelmed. It was way bigger than I ever imagined it could be, so I was not prepared for just how big it was. Like, people told me that Comic-Cons are huge, but I had only ever been to, like, the local street fairs, and, maybe it was like a mixture of artists and like beauty products and clothes and food. So it was just, I've never been to like Artist Alley. It wasn't an alley. It was like artist auditorium. Like, it was just all of these beautiful artworks and different styles all together. Like, it really made me feel like cognitive overload. Like, I was so overly stimulated, but really thrilled at the same time because it was so great to see so many artists together and to see all these like vibrant, colorful pieces jammed into one big conference room, or not even a room, like a conference warehouse. Yeah, it was really fun. I definitely want to go back one year and just attend and like dress up because I think, yeah, being a part of the experience would be fun too. Okay, I'm gonna just quickly mix this rosy color just so I can, incorporate some of the blush. Ooh, yeah, blush is tough because you don't want it to, it's kind of like you want it to blend in with the skin tone, but you don't want to over blend it because you want the parts where there is blush to be concentrated so that it can be a focal point. So you have to find this weird middle ground of blending it just the right amount. And then sometimes when I blend, like, it takes a little bit of practice to get used to this, but you want to make your strokes so gentle that your brush like pretty much barely touches the canvas or the panel, whatever you're working on. Here, I feel like it's missing a little bit of a cheekbone. I like my girls to have a little bit of cheekbone, so I'm gonna actually wipe this small brush and reuse it. Oh, one more thing, when you're cleaning your brushes out in between, like, switching colors, make sure you dry it very, very thoroughly, because if it has a little bit of paint thinner on it, it'll basically dilute your paint and ruin the paint you have on the canvas. So yeah, make sure you dry it. Like, I basically squeeze the towel around the brush many, many times before I deposit a new color. So yeah, here I feel like there should be a little bit of a cheekbone shadow. And this I'm definitely gonna blend out. See, right now it looks super messed up. But yeah, I'm just gonna blend it out. Yeah, also, like, to blend this, I basically wiped my brush without dipping it in paint thinner. I wiped it dry on the napkin or on the paper towel just to make less paint on the brush. But I don't really care if there's remnants of this dark gray color because I do like having it to blend with the surrounding colors, but I also want it to be dry enough that it's not just going to keep depositing paint in big globs. So yeah, like, this is why oil painting is complicated, but also why I love it, because just by changing up the process a little bit, you can achieve so many cool effects. So like whether you know, even how you dry your brush or how hard you wipe your brush on your towel can yield, really interesting and beneficial results. So yeah, see, now there's a little bit of indentation where she has a cheekbone. I'm just gonna finish up here, I want to show you guys what I do with the highlight. So I'm going to take my larger brush. I haven't even cleaned it yet. And a little bit of more of this reddish blush color. And because I haven't cleaned my brush, when I deposit the red onto it, it automatically mixes with the beige that's already on the brush. So that's another neat trick to, I guess, save some time. So yeah, I'm just gonna pull this blush part out a little bit. Add some more white here. Man, I wish I had I wish I could show you guys like a dual screen of the palette and the webcam. But yeah, when I get a house, you guys, I'm definitely like gonna take some time away from scrambling to learn how to live stream better and video edit more efficiently because man, currently it takes so long. Okay. So here I'm having this area is gonna be bright. Let's see. I kind of like how white this part is. That's kind of something I want to preserve from the first layer. I'm going to clean out this brush, wipe it very thoroughly on my napkin. I keep saying napkin, paper towel, my heavy duty industry strength paper towel. And this white part here, I'm going to use that really light white mixture that I made earlier with the blue. So it's like a bluish white. I'm going to just pop it in right here. And ta-da! So now it feels like a silver bluish moonlight hitting her face and making those highlights pop. And you know, even though the colors I'm using now are way cooler than what was in my underpainting, or I guess not underpainting, my first layer, the first layer gets covered but still serves a purpose because the fact that it exists underneath this cool second layer gives it a little bit of, I guess, like an interesting luminosity because you have a slightly warmer or rosier layer underneath, and then you have a layer of blue on top, and when the light goes through both layers it creates this beautiful like middle ground. So don't ever feel like oh my gosh, my second layer, my first layer are too different, I messed up. Like in the end it's all about the finished product. They all kind of play off of each other and benefit each other. So yeah, don't even worry if because sometimes I do like 3 layers of skin tones, and I mean, I use the exact same colors when I mix them, but they just end up looking different, and that's because like the first layer, all you have is white underneath. The second layer, you have something slightly more saturated underneath, and then when you do a third layer, you're painting on top of something that's already has like pretty opaque coverage, and so all 3 layers, even if you use the same color, same colors, are not going to look identical because they're more opaque and more rich, which is kind of what you want. Just gonna go over this part with black a little bit to refine this edge where the hair touches the face. There we go. Okay, I think that is about it for today's demo. I'm running out of time. I actually got to run and finish a loan application for getting a loan to buy a house before the deadline is up. I know, such boring adult stuff. I wish I could just stay here and paint all afternoon. But yeah, I gotta go finish my loan application. But yeah, I hope you guys liked the demo today. Let me just move the piece closer so you can see a close-up of what I did. Let's see, where is I thought I had my tweezers. Oh. I see a little, oh, I found it. So I see a little hair on the face. A lot of you guys ask me what to do with animal hair. Well, I'm going to show you. So let me just, there you go. Okay, so I don't know if you guys can see. Oh, maybe it's too close. So yeah, this is what we did today, guys, together. But you see that tiny hair on her cheek? So I have these tweezers. I have tweezers I use for my face and tweezers I use for my paintings' faces. And I'm just gonna pull this little hair out. Ah, got it. Nice. There seems to be another hair here too. Actually, this isn't even hair. This is just dust. Okay. Very gingerly lift it with my tweezer. There we go. And yeah, it kind of creates like a little footprint, tweezer footprint on my painting. Oh my gosh, but no worries. You can just honestly even go in with your brush and like blend it out. Sometimes you can also use your brush to pick up, like if you go the reverse direction against the grains, you can pick up small specks of dust. Okay, it is gone. Yay, no more hairs. Awesome. Okay, this is the piece. I cannot wait to share it with you guys and share the final product. And I hope I can make the gallery deadline in time, and I hope they like it. Okay, I'm just gonna hold this here and say goodbye to you guys while holding this because I just don't want to waste time rearranging my desk. But thank you all so much for joining me for this live stream, and it was so great to like feel normal again. Like these live streams feel like a part of my routine, which I love. And so I guess no matter how chaotic this transition period is with moving and house hunting, being able to do this live stream with you guys makes me feel, kind of grounds me. So I like that. And oh, you guys are so sweet. Oh, duo screen can be done on Twitch. Okay, I will definitely check that out. But yeah, I'm really glad I got a chance to hang out with you guys, and thank you for being my patrons and for supporting me through all this trouble and chaos and stress. And I hope I can catch you all next month. Hopefully, fingers crossed, next month, hopefully I'll have another new studio for the live stream, and it'll be in my house, preferably a house that I can grow roots in and not have to move for a really, really long time. So yeah, but if not, I'll see you back in the studio, and enjoy your summer. Take care of your physical, mental health, everyone. Same for me. And I love you guys, and I'm rambling now, so I'm just gonna end this live stream. Bye guys. Mwah.